Moving on, Poland's runoff presidential election is underway with the two candidates neck and neck. The Liberal mayor of Warsaw, Rafal Trzaskowski, is running against the conservative candidate, Karol Nawrocki, a historian backed by the right-wing party. Voting began early on Sunday morning across the country, with exit polls expected to be released shortly after 9 p.m. The outcome could impact the direction of the country and the rest of Europe, with potential implications for Ukraine's desire to join the NATO military alliance. DW Brussels Bureau Chief Alexandra von Nahmen sent us this report from Warsaw.
Campaigning until the last minute in a knife-edge presidential election. Rafal Trzaskowski from the governing center-right party Civic Platform meets supporters in central Poland. He is pro-Europe, pro-climate action and popular especially among urban voters.
Rafal Trzaskowski is a very seasoned politician. And in times of crisis, not only in Europe but also worldwide, we need somebody like him.
He's been Warsaw's mayor for many years. When you visit the capital, it is visible to everyone how the city's infrastructure has changed dramatically.
Critics, however, see Trzaskowski as part of Poland's privileged elite and far too much in line with faraway Brussels. Unlike his opponent, Karol Nawrocki, who likes to trash the EU and its policies. He presents himself as a candidate who is eager to uphold traditional Catholic values and goes full hardline on migration. We meet one of his supporters in Warsaw. Piotr Kudlicki says with Russia's war against Ukraine still raging, Poland as a frontline state needs a strong leader.
Karol Nawrocki is betting on the most powerful, most meaningful allies in NATO, including on their presence in Poland. It is reasonable to expect Fort Trump to be built here. I know Karol Nawrocki guarantees that. Unfortunately, his opponent is raving about a European army which does not exist.
Seeing Nawrocki with US President Trump at the Oval Office impressed his base, mainly conservative voters living in a countryside or small towns. That his campaign was overshadowed by scandals, like reports about him taking part in football hooligan brawls and accusations of links to criminals, did not seem to bother his supporters. Małgorzata Szumowska, a social activist in Warsaw, says she's worried about Poland's future.
I'm shocked by the level of brutality in this campaign. How we're detaching ourselves from the culture of dialogue. It's something that's beyond my understanding.
The decision about who will reside in the presidential palace right behind me could be a make or break moment for the country, about whether it will continue to be a liberal democracy or follow a more nationalist path. It will also have global implications and define Poland's future role in Europe and NATO.
It is a neck-and-neck race with two candidates representing two opposing visions of Poland.
With me now is Wojciech Szymanski from our Polish department. Wojciech, why is this election so important for Poland?
Well, actually, people in Poland are deciding not only about who the next president will be, they are deciding which direction the country will take in the coming years. It is a choice between Poland that is firmly rooted in the European Union, between Poland that is a liberal and open country willing to cooperate with other European partners, and between, on the other hand, Poland, which is very traditional, very religious, very Catholic, and not really interested in deepening the European integration. And it is also a choice between a model that respects diversity and the one that dislikes or challenges diversity.
Talk to us about how the outcome here could, in fact, impact Poland's stance on Europe.
Well, the candidate of the Liberal Party, Mr. Trzaskowski, he's certainly a very pro-European politician who will try to search for cooperation with important European partners, and he will not oppose deepening the European integration. And the candidate backed by the right-wing party, Mr. Nawrocki, well, actually, he has not much experience in the European politics, but the party that supports him, Law and Justice Party, had shown in the past that it is a party which challenges the European Union and doesn't really want the European Union to deepen the integration and the cooperation.
Give our viewers some understanding, some perspective on how powerful the president is, in fact, in Poland.
Well, the president has mainly a representative function, but he also has a very influential power. For example, he can veto almost every bill that the government has introduced in the parliament. So the president in Poland can block almost everything that the government is trying to do, to implement, to achieve in the country. And if the election is won by the right-wing candidate, by Mr. Nawrocki, that will certainly mean that he will do everything to make life hard for the liberal government of Mr. Donald Tusk. And in the long term, that could even lead to the collapse of the liberal government of Mr. Tusk. That's why this election is also so important for the future of the government.
And it's difficult to overstate how close the election actually is. It's almost impossible to predict a winner.
It's impossible. Well, both candidates enjoyed almost identical support in the polls. So at this moment, it's really impossible. It's almost 50-50. I hope that the result will be clear and none of the sides will then try to undermine the results if it's very, very narrow.
Wojciech Szymanski from DW Polish. Many, many thanks, sir.
Thank you.